We've talked about the Democrats. Now we're talking the GOP. Super Tuesday is just 2 days away, and the competition among the GOP presidential hopefuls has grown fierce. With 595 delegates up for grabs on the Republican side, the top-tier candidates are battling hard to gain advantage. This after former GOP presidential candidate and New Jersey Governor Chris Christie endorsed Donald Trump for the nomination. Trump has won every state but Iowa so far and is the man to beat heading into Super Tuesday. So what can we expect to see this week? That's our topic this half hour. We want to hear from you on our Fox 26 Facebook page. You can also weigh in on Twitter. Be sure to use the hashtag Fox26forlife. Joining us live in our newsroom is our panel led by our senior legal analyst Chris Tritico, our news analyst Mustafa Tamiz, who's often involved in strategizing for Democratic candidates, and public policy analyst Jackie Bally in the middle, who's often involved with strategy for Republican candidates. So is there any way that Donald Trump can be caught at this point?
You know, it's a tough race for everyone. Let's break it down a little bit here. Ben Carson's campaign is over. He just hasn't realized it yet. Somebody needs to sit Ben down and say, Ben, it's over. I don't know if anybody's done that yet, but they need to. Kasich's campaign is over. He's not gonna make it, and those two need to save some money and pull out of this thing. This is a three-man race, and there's two guys trying to catch Donald Trump, and that's what we're going to focus on here. The night of the first first debate, the three of us sat in the room, and I heard Ben Carson talk, and the first thing out of my mouth, the first sentence he made, Jackie, I said that guy's never going to be president, and he just doesn't have it. He can't do it. Coming into Super Tuesday, you work for the Ted Cruz campaign. Coming into Super Tuesday, Ted Cruz is, in one poll, Ted Cruz is leading in Texas. It's not a take-all state. Ted Cruz looks like he might win Texas. That's not going to be enough for him to win the presidency, though, is it?
Actually, there are several polls that say Ted's winning Texas, and there's one poll that says that Trump is quickly catching up, and they're in a dead heat. Right. I feel that everyone running against Donald Trump has to win in his state. Kasich has to win in Ohio. And the polls are going back and forth on that. Rubio has to win in Florida, and most polls are showing that he's not only losing to Trump, he's losing badly
by 16
to Trump.
Points last one I looked
And
at.
Ted has to win in Texas, and some polls are showing he's 5 to 8 points ahead. And then we made reference to the last one that's showing they're in a dead heat. Each candidate running against Trump has to win in their own state. We're looking at 13 states, and we're looking at 595 delegates. Super Tuesday, but most importantly, by March 15th, we will know who our Republican nominee will be. If
Ted Cruz wins Texas, but he only gets half of the delegates, is that enough for him to catch Donald Trump?
It's going to be very hard. Look, it's not that it's early, but this has been a very unpredictable primary. A lot's happened. People said Donald Trump couldn't get this far, and he has gotten that far. This Christie announcement is a big sign to the establishment that Donald Trump is likely to be nominee and that people can trust him to lead. At least that's what's coming from Christie. But you don't know. I mean, Donald Trump can unfold, unravel right in front of us, because it is that kind of a cycle.
5 times in the last 6 weeks, Chris Christie said Donald Trump is not fit to lead. They said we don't need a carnival barker as our president in terms like that. And then in an about face, he's on stage hugging the man saying this is the next president of the United States. What's the deal? The
Chris Christie endorsement is more of a slap to Marco Rubio.
Certainly.
You saw in the previous debate how Chris Christie made it a personal match up against him and Marco with the comments that he was making against Marco. And then to turn around and now give this endorsement because Marco is seen as the main candidate for the establishment. Chris Christie is also seen as an establishment guy, and he's trying to make a point saying, I don't want Marco Rubio to get this nomination. I want Donald Trump to be considered, or at least put the heat on Marco Rubio and help sway the establishment. But I don't think people care what Chris Christie says. He did very poorly in his candidacy. That's why he had to drop out as early as he does. And we're also seeing that endorsements on both sides really don't matter. The voters are going to do who they feel can speak up against the insiders in Washington.
As Trump picks up endorsements like Christie, he's starting to pick up congressional endorsements. Is that going to help him?
Yes, it's going to help him a lot. Look, the fact of the matter is, all politics not just local, but they're personal. The reason why Christie went after Rubio so aggressively was Rubio's super PAC was attacking him in New Hampshire and it basically altered the chances of him winning. That's why he came after Rubio. But this endorsement from Christie to Trump is a big deal. He took the news cycle where Trump finally had lost a Republican debate and changed that news cycle around for him, put him back on his track, and he also sent a message to others to say, look, I'm a sitting governor, I've led, and this guy can lead the nation.
So Jackie makes a good point that you have to win at least win your own state if you're going to win the nomination. Rubio's losing by at least 16 points in Florida. If he can't win Florida, where's he going to win?
And he's never won anything.
Right.
Well, this is a anti-establishment wave, and Marco Rubio or Jeb Bush or anybody or Kasich have never gained traction in this. I mean, Marco Rubio basically, kind of like what Jackie was saying, he came in third and pretended like he won a primary.
He was so excited.
Yeah.
He was very cute.
I've looked at every state. I've looked at every state that has a poll out, and there's only one state where Texas, where Donald Trump is behind, and Texas is the only one. Give me a path for victory for anyone other than Donald Trump.
The southern states, Ted Cruz has to, the same way we were saying that Rubio has to have the establishment rally around him, Ted has to have the evangelicals and the conservatives to coalesce around him, because we've seen from Trump, actually, I'm surprised Democrats should love him because Trump is not a conservative with his statements about Planned Parenthood and other things. And so Ted should say, look, I am anti-establishment, I am conservative, and the southern states who are going to vote, that's where he should gain some traction.
Well, look, South Carolina was a big evangelical vote. Donald Trump did really well with that. Texas, where Ted can potentially win, the challenge is not a winner-take-all state. He'll still get a proportional number of delegates. That means on the delegate count, Donald Trump is likely to do very well.
All right, we'll see where it goes from there, but it looks like, and I said a year ago that Donald Trump would never be in this thing, and it looks like it's beginning to take shape that Donald Trump's going to win the Republican nomination. I agree with Jackie. By March 15th, we're going to know who has it.